Buenos dias. Ooh, I see that pimple. Buenos dias. My name is Miladies. Always getting herself ready while she's on camera, right? She should be doing this off camera. Listen, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't be having to be nowhere so early. I used to have to walk my dogs. This is one of the reasons why I enjoy waking up at this time. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Today, what we talking about, especially in 2023, today is um, the day that people celebrate Thanksgiving, uh, gathering ourselves with our family. Today's also day 13 of the challenge, the Bring Them Challenge. And today we're going to be talking about boundaries. Hmm. I'm quite an expert at this because, see, now this is going to bother me, right? Happy Jupiter's Day. Ooh. Ah. Expansion. Oh, I got to go live again. We got to talk about today. Okay, focus. So today we're going to talk about boundaries. What is boundaries? I'm pretty sure you heard about it before, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people may have said to you at one point, oh, you got to build boundaries, you got to cut the person off, you can't let them treat you like that. But what about when it's family? What about when it's your own mother and father and sister, right? Because it might be a bit more easier to release friends, right? I'm not going to say lovers because that's also a tough topic. When we talk about boundaries, we're talking about what they would categorize as people who are narcissistic, people who allow themselves to get taken advantage of. And that's one of the things that I had to learn. Yes, hello, hello, hello. One of the things that I had to learn was that it all came from childhood, right? For those of you who have parents who asked you to do things for your neighbors, for them, right? While they sitting down on the couch, they ask you to go and get the control when they know they could reach. Some of y'all be doing that to your kids now, huh? You see how the cycle continues? So it first starts with our family, our parents, our siblings, and then from there, as we get older, we think because of our age, including my ladies, we think because of our age, we got things down packed. And because we curse somebody out, we feel like we build boundaries. Let's bring it back a little bit. When it comes to boundaries, it really talks about intention and deliberate action, because we can say it, but because our subconscious mind has been in the space of people pleasing for quite some time, it takes steps, it takes decluttering, it takes forgiveness to yourself to create these boundaries. Because around it all, it goes towards one thing: we allowed, right? And people be like, oh my God, I didn't tell that person to do that. I didn't want to get hurt like that. Right. But the minute that we give attention and energy towards that situation, person, or subject, we get sucked in. And when we haven't been able to actually build the strong foundation, which means we can't really heal where we've been hurt at. So no matter how much we do our best to build the boundaries, while we still in the space, it can create confusion, chaos, and add more situations where we get taken advantage of. Now, I speak for myself when I say that my biological mother, right, was a narcissistic person. I didn't really get that part of her until I was, let's say, 2017, which was just recent, right? And I found out through a connection that I had with someone who was narcissistic. And we run around and say, well, if my family talks to me like that, then it doesn't matter. I have a hard exterior and you can say whatever you want to me and I don't care. No, let's get to it right now. Let's make sure that, for one, right now, we write down all the things that we feel we may have been taken advantage of or allowed ourselves to get taken advantage of. Let's write all that down, how much we dislike that. And then we go ahead and we write something positive or a statement that we can say to ourselves on a daily basis to build these boundaries with people. Because I will go deep with this topic, but for right now, we're just doing the brain dump. All right. So, like I said, listen, my mother, we're going to write, and I'll tell y'all a story about what my mother did to me. I laugh because it's like, wow. All right, let's get it. Rich rising to my sister. Even if you're in that situation right now and it feels dreading, write it out. Write it out. How you feel about them. Fuck you. Do it. All right. Hello, hello, hello. My mother's the biggest narcissist. Ooh, y'all wrote some stuff. I get pissed off watching my mom and sister not have us or set boundaries with each other and their kids. Whew. Boundaries may have people leaving you, but they're necessary for relationships to grow. I used to let people use my time and kindness. Now I don't mind being the villain in the story. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. Hey. So this is what I'm gonna share with you guys, right? A lot of times we are um, allowing our boundaries to get crossed because we didn't learn how to build them, because the people that we grew up with didn't have boundaries either, because guess what, they was adult and they were people pleasers too, you see. And so with that being said, you have to nurture yourself when it comes to building boundaries, and allow yourself to know that there has to be a consistent um dusting, right? We got to consistently upgrade our boundaries, right? Because as we begin to recognize, because then another thing is recognizing that you're allowing yourself to get taken advantage of. Prime example with your boss. Your boss be like, "Oh, can you stay a few extra minutes just to help me with this project? Because we really got to get it in." Oh, sure, no problem, right? Because a lot of times we want people to like us, right? We want people to say, "Oh, this person is nice. This person is not rude." Me growing up, both my siblings, they was wild, right? And so they got in trouble a lot. I got in trouble for other reasons, like, acting crazy and not acting crazy. Well, how can I say, like, to get attention, right? To get attention, we do things. So there was a couple of things that I did when I was younger that my mom was like, "Yeah, she's not all there," right? So then that is the first part where my mom kind of like took advantage of, like, okay, it's not that I wasn't all there. It was more like I was a special child and you didn't recognize that, right? And so with that being said, it began there, right? Being manipulated by my own mother. Let me tell you what she did. One time, and this is just one of the things that she did. And this is how you know when it comes to trust and building boundaries, it gets crazy, because it's like, you birthed me. How dare you? Um, I was 18, 19. I had moved out, and I think it was 1920. I had moved out, and she would work for ACS, and she's a foster mother. So I don't know about y'all, but some parents that are Caribbeans, they want all their money. They don't want to go to the check cashing place and put their money in and then get the service taken out. So she's like, "Oh, let me borrow your bank account so that I can put my check in there and I can take out the whole amount." Here I am. Hey, that's my mother. She getting money. It is what it is. So I felt she was responsible with that. So for some apparent reason, with her Scorpio magic, the bank account ended up giving her double the money. You think she put that back? No. Your girl waited until I got called from the bank and was like that I owe some money. And I'm like, "Oh, what? I don't even use that bank." Then all I do is turn around like, and y'all know what? She was laughing. How did I recover from that? First and foremost, I talked to my mother for a little bit, right? That was the boundaries that I set. But that wasn't a real boundary, because I still, more things still went on after that. I had to end up paying for it, and it was what it was. Like, what was I gonna do? So, some people be like, "I'm gonna take my mother to jail." I was saying that. I was like, "I'm gonna take you to jail." I ain't gonna take her to jail. Poor Cuban lady, all skinny and shit and sick. I'm gonna send her to jail. I was like, "You stole my identity." Yo, I went ham. So that's, just think about the situations that you've been through, and you really haven't recovered from it, right? Recovering from those situations, forgiving, right? I always talk about Ho'oponopono, and I'll link it down below. It's a Hawaiian ancient technique that is old, and it basically expresses, "I love you, please forgive me, thank you, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you." And many of us are not ready to do that. But I will share with you that is exactly how I healed my relationship with my mother, by continuously visualizing her and saying these words. Even if deep down inside of me I have resentment because of the way we grew up, because of I went and I did that breakthrough. It was not easy, but nonetheless, it really helped before she passed away for me to mend that relationship as best as I could. So I share this to say that it can take some time for you to build these boundaries, but it really talks about us taking action. So for us in 2023, because I know people are going to watch this video later that are going to the holidays today, allow yourself to be an observer. All right. And so, hey, yo, mommy did that to me too with some furniture. They came to my, I don't mean to laugh, to collect it. Is it a Cuban thing? Is it a Cuban thing? Oh, man. Yes, I'm learning about boundaries right now. Just lost a friend over boundary. She wasn't real. It sucks being a people pleaser. That's another thing. We're so used to connecting with these people because if you don't notice, it's more of a energy vampire type of thing. We seek that attention because at least that person is paying attention to me. Because at times this is where we may not feel worthy, and this is why it may be difficult for us to build boundaries because we don't feel worthy of starting a new friendship. We don't trust nobody. I'm gonna do bad all by myself, and this is where we begin to block ourselves. You see the pattern, but it all goes back to when we was child and what we allowed, and really giving ourselves the space to know that we can still heal no matter what we went through. And it's okay to curse people out and be like, fuck them. But you know what? At the end of the day, because we have been people who care, let's change people pleasers. We just truly care about people and want to see them good. We don't want to see somebody hurt. We tend to allow ourselves to go through these things. So don't shift. Don't shift yourself. Just know what are your, and I don't really like to use these words because then it becomes your strength. What are your weaknesses? Where do you allow yourself to get taken advantage of? Right? And no, I'm not blaming it on you. What I'm sharing is let's start from here and let's build the barrier. All right. Is it worth giving people your energy, or is it best to allow ourselves to remove ourselves from that space? Because then it's very hard for us to really understand our growth if we don't take ourselves out of there and put ourselves in a different environment. But we will get tested on our boundaries. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to do another video on this because it's one that's tough. So let's shift, take a deep breath, and then I am the best boundary builder ever. I am the best boundary builder ever. Boundary builders. That's what we're going to call ourselves. Now, let me stop. Begin to get into the action of I am, get strong, get worthy, and write your positive sides of boundaries. I'm going to give y'all 5 minutes. Like, why is it so easy for me to recognize when people is trying to take advantage of? All right. Many of us are in the space of fearing not talking to these type of people anymore, right? Especially again, if it's friends and family, and all our lives, all we've been doing is looking for validation from them, right? Especially when it comes to our parents. We all want our parents to love us. Like, let's be serious, right? So, my father's another one. My father's a narcissist. Right now, my father's 88 years old, and he only calls me to do paperwork from him, right? That's it. If I try to contact him to see how he's doing, his health, and to or just to hang out with him, right? I'm not invited to his house. Not because he doesn't want me there, it's because he has his own thing happening, and I can't be there. I don't know what an 80-year-old was doing, but I'm also not trying to find out. So a lot of people really do be some like somewhat mad at me when I say, "Oh, I'm not checking on my father. He's good." He lived a great life. He's continuing to live a great life. Allow him to live his life. When we let go of what that energy is and allow God source universe to work through that, whatever we receive is what we need to in the moment, right? In other words, let's not go out there and prove to people that we build the boundaries. Now, just build the boundaries and let it show you how it's working for you. So every time my father calls, I don't pick up immediately because I already know what time it is. So instead of me picking up and thinking like, now I gotta, oh, you don't love me. Instead of going through all of that, which I like, I'm a triggerer too. So I say that to him, be like, ay, niña, ya, no empiece, tú me pones nervioso. I like to see him do that. You want to know why? Because it's funny. So with that being said, when he calls me, I don't pick up at times. And then he gets mad. Oh, every time I call you, you're not available. You must be a busy person. I say, you're right. I am busy. Would you like me to meet you at a certain day, at a certain time to assist you with your papers? Because I know that's what you're calling me for. He goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I got a little something for you. So then he be giving me a little $20 here, a little 20. I mean, big bucks, big $20, right? And I still take it. You want to know why? Because now I feel like you're home attendant. So give me that so I can buy some lunch. You see how I build that boundary? And so he'll probably call me on the holidays or something like that. But I'm also not devastated about that validation from my father. Now, it took some time. All right. Let's finish reading what you guys wrote because I know it's spicy today. All right. Where we at? Where we at? Oh, wow. That went in. All right. Hold on. Hold on. My mom is deranged. And blames all her problems on her kids and tell us she regrets having us. My mom had said that too. And she said that to a friend of mine, which was weird because it's like, bro, wow, what a way to show that you love us. You see what we endure? Yes, we do for others what we would like them to do for us, but I stopped doing that now. I feel, or I see have been helping me. Yes, it's best to remove ourselves. Today, I'm observing and being quiet, and not too quiet either, right? Because we don't want them to know that hey, we building boundaries. We want to have fun too, but the minute that we feel a little, we can feel it and we shift because we also not gonna be like sitting like prunes at our family events either. Fuck out of here. I, it feels good to be around people that respect my boundaries. And that's the feeling you want to hold and cultivate. I see myself around people that have healthy boundaries and are willing to share them with me. Yes, Gabby, come on now. I have healthy boundaries that help me get better and more confident with myself. It's 11/23/2023, and we're in the 13-14 day challenge on Jupiter Day. Wow, we're ending it tomorrow on a Venus Day. Proud. We're ending it proud. I think a lot of the older generations are like that because they're in survival mode. Yes, because they never had much. Thank God we're breaking that cycle, and that's where it's at. Do we continue to hold on to what is dying, what we're breaking, or do we engage and continue it for our children to do it? Right? For those of us who are aware that they're generational uh, chain breakers, this is the pivotal moment where we may have to fucking bite our tongues, pack our shit, and just shift and pray on that shit. I'm gonna tell y'all now, I prayed a lot on my family and the connection because the rest of my family's in Cuba. And over here is literally me and my siblings. And there's four of us. Three or four of us. Three. Four with me including. That is it. And so with that being said, I know what it feels like to have a small amount of family around you and not wanting to lose that. So I prayed a lot, and today we all going to Thanksgiving, baby. I'm just saying it's possible. We can definitely continue to do that and break cycles. All right. I've worked hard on setting boundaries because for many years they've been non existent. I just love them from afar and stay in my lane. I cannot afford anyone to bring me down nor create drama in my space. Now, remember one thing, just because you doing that does not mean that it's going to be accepted in the moment. Uh, People might even call you selfish or blame it on you and say that you're the one that's causing all the issues and the problem and it's because of you. What are you going to do? Allow yourself to understand that that's their opinion and that's their like what they're sharing, but you don't have to internalize that. You can see it, accept what they're projecting on you, but don't take it personal. Right? Boundaries is about not taking it personal. Let me tell you, my mom's used to be like, "Oh, I don't know why you do Zumba when you still look like that, why your arms is like that." And then it turned out that when my friends used to tell me that I danced for money, I used to be like, "Yeah, no problem." No, I didn't dance for money. I danced fucking Zumba and I got paid paychecks, all right? But because my mother says certain things, it was okay for everyone else to say that. All right, so really dig deep into that. Woo. Flex on them with my diamonds and my pinky ring. That's right. Disappear for 3 years and come back a millionaire. Or let them watch. Fuck that. I just feel like at times we separate ourselves so much that it becomes a disconnect without recognizing that that's our bloodline, especially when it's family. So no matter how much we run, that shit is trickling right here. But when we go ahead and we heal that ancestral generational bloodline, when we contact beyond our friends and our family and we ask for assistance, that's when we see the shift. I personally stopped pushing my family for healing and things like that. I just healed myself. And as we continue to show up, that's how you start to see things. I've seen so many changes in my siblings that I'm like, wow, something that I would have never thought I'd see in this lifetime. But that's all because I stopped pressuring them, place the boundaries, because we also trigger people. So people are placing boundaries on us. So I had to place boundaries so that I can understand how I'm affecting them. So like I said, it takes digging, but at the same time, it starts with you. It starts with you accepting yourself. It starts with you validating yourself. Continue to validate yourself. Continue to know that you don't need Pablo, John, and Escobar. Here he comes again to validate us. And as much as we would love for our parents and our siblings to do that because, hey, they blood, begin to let that go. All right, let's see what message Spirit got. Ooh, this one was good. And I promise y'all, when I created these last 3 days, I was sitting with Spirit. I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? What are these brain dumps going to be about? And it just trickles so beautifully. All right, let's see what they say. Do that. Going to Jamaica to start a farm and live like I wanna. Nobody's stopping you. Do that shit. All right. OMG. Let's see. All right, let's. I don't know, but I'll be writing. I should be. Allow yourself to take a few steps back before we engage in the feeling of worthiness. Do we desire to be seen by others, or will we accept that we are seen in the eyes of God's source universe? Wow. You are validated here. You are seen. You are loved. I appreciate you for taking those steps that nobody sees, especially during this timing, during this chaotic moment in 2023. Allow yourself to nourish and bask in love, self love, a lot of that. What does that mean? Keep triggering your subconscious mind to release the old patterns. Be proud of yourself. All right. And get mad. Please get mad. Curse somebody out. It is okay. It's okay. Because I'm going to curse somebody out. A bitch human. I love y'all. I need to make a deck of you. Listen, as soon as I take this break, I'm going to be going back to a lot. So I'm going to take a quick break to go back to a lot of the things that we've been doing and just taking notes and rearranging things because I know I did this on the fly, but it was the best on the fly ever. Peace and love. Enjoy, eat, and exercise tomorrow.